Hey, recently I've been watching a lot of movies and going on Letterboxd to my millions of followers on there and telling everybody exactly what I think. And one day while scrolling through my Letterboxd, I realized that there was a movie that I needed to talk about. I talked about Scream last time. I'm talking about this movie this time because it's peak. And that movie is... Now you may be asking yourself, how are you able to grade these movies? How do you know what a good movie is? I use something called the VMMM. It's a grading scale that I came up with to assess if a movie's actually good or not. And it goes by vibes, music, members, and the message of the movie. Each one of these categories is rated from 0 to 25. And then at the end, they're added up and averaged to see if they're a good movie. No, I don't go on IMDb. No, I don't go on Rotten Tomatoes. Those sites aren't real. And the only movie reviewer that matters is me. So let's start this video. The music in The Prince of Egypt is bold, emotionally charged, and peak. And there's one song specifically that we all need to know about and we all need to watch because it's one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. And that song is Deliver Us. We start out by hearing grunts and aching moans of the Hebrew slaves as they're being whipped and beaten into submission. They call out to God asking, why haven't you saved us? Why haven't you taken us out of this position? This is like when you're at school and it's like spring semester and you're like, dude, like get me out of here. But like, no, like you're still there. And this is the beginning of the movie. This is the first part of the movie we see. There's no Moses, there's no Ramesses, there's no other characters but these people. And it's important to know that that's a central through line of the story, that the movie was never just about Moses. It was never just about Ramesses. It was always about the people that were affected by all this. And I feel like Deliver Us does a great way of doing that in the first minute of the song, of showing you of how these people are being treated. And if we look at these lyrics, actually, with the sting of the whip on my shoulder, with the salt of the sweat on my back, Elohim God on high, do you hear your people cry, help us now? Oh my gosh. And his writing is this fire. Like the writing is this fire. It's that good writing. Now, what does any of this mean? Because I just said a whole lot of nothing and I just put up like a genius bar for no reason basically, and I'm not explaining what the lyrics are meaning. So let's actually go into that. These opening lines are so interesting because they are a reference to hundreds of years of other things happening. And if you didn't have a background of knowing Christianity or just a religious background in general, you probably don't know what these people are talking about. You might just be thinking that these people are in slavery for no reason at all. And why on earth are they complaining? Like, guys, get over it. No, I'm kidding. It was really bad. But the reason that they're saying this prayer, Lord of all, remember us here in this burning sand, that line, and also the other one, Elohim, God on high, do hear your people cry, is that these Hebrew people are the same Hebrew people who took the covenant that Abraham took in Genesis 15 to 17. Go read that if you want to understand what I'm talking about. But that covenant with God basically said that they were going to have their own land, their own country, their own kingdom, and they wouldn't have to be slaves in Egypt. Now, as you can tell, that is not happening right now because they are slaves in Egypt. So how are they gonna get out of this situation? Anyway, so directly after this, we get to see a random mom putting a baby in a river for some reason. Who knows? I think she's trying to escape the Egyptians or something, but she sends the baby down the river and, you know, almost gets eaten by alligators and hippopotamus, but eventually the baby stops with a random Egyptian family and a kid. But the Egyptian family names the baby Moses. And you see how this is like starting to make sense, where like the Hebrews just asked to be delivered and then Moses gets delivered down a river. And also Moses's name literally means to deliver. So it's like, I don't know. I'm crazy how that extremely low chance thing of happening just happened. It's almost as if there's a plan or something. Overall, Deliver Us does an amazing job as a plot device and as a song. It is a beautiful song. The chorus, the actual choir that they use, like they have real people sing this song and there's no auto-tune. These are these people's real voices and it's really beautiful. I genuinely think you should go take a listen to it. I would rate Deliver Us as a song a 10 out of 10. That is a 10 out of 10 song and it's an amazing way for the movie to start. So let's go over another song that I also like in the movie called The Plagues is a banger. This is a banger song. I'm not going to explain this as much as Deliver Us on why it's a banger, because on this one, you should just listen to it. You should just listen to this song because it is that much of a banger. But let's look at these lyrics. Once I called you brother. Once I thought the chance to make you laugh is all I ever wanted. And even now, I wish that God had chosen another. Serving as your foe on his behalf is the last thing that I wanted. Oh my gosh! That's not even... Okay, let me explain why this is gas. So at this point, Moses and Ramses are at a crossroads. Moses knows that God is not gonna stop these plagues until those people are let go. And Ramses refuses to let them go because of his pride and ego. Mainly because he doesn't want to be seen as the weak link in his family. And that's exemplified through his own lyrics. You whom I called brother, how could you have come to hate me so? Is this what you wanted? Then let my heart be hardened and never mind how high the cost may grow. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. This will still be so. I will never let your people go. What? Like, I know, you can see the picture behind me. Like, there was, despite fire coming down from the sky, bugs, locusts, like the river being turned into blood. And he's like, no, dude, like, no, I don't want to be the weak link. I want to keep my slaves. I'm going to keep slavery in this kingdom. I was going to talk about a third song called Playing with the Big Boys Now. But I hate it. It is my least favorite song in the entire movie. I think it's the only bad song in the entire movie, and it really drags down the music score, so I am deducting 5 points from the overall music section of the movie because of how much I hate this song. Overall, musically, The Prince of Egypt scores a 20. Good job, Prince of Egypt. That's good. That's a pretty good score. That's an okay score. I like that. Okay, so I want to talk about the characters in this movie as well. And it's important to talk about Moses because he's the main character of the movie. Duh. Moses is a great example of a three-dimensional character. This is great character work. If you want to learn how to write a character, go watch this movie because Moses is a good example of it. After accidentally killing a man and being stuck in the desert for like a month, Moses actually changes. He becomes a humble farmer who, you know, he's like a cool dude. Like he has a staff, he has a cool cloak, like, yeah, like I want to be like Moses. Like, yeah, I wouldn't mind being a humble shepherd. I wouldn't mind it. Wait a second, shepherd? Moses becomes a shepherd when he's older? Wait a second, what the heck? How does that happen? Well, Moses is still human. Like, he's still a guy and he still has flaws. And that's shown when he goes into the cave and sees the burning bush. The burning bush being literally God, by the way. God tells Moses that he should free his people. And Moses literally says, no, I'm not the guy for the job. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to find somebody else. It's ironic because the name Moses literally means like to lead out. Like that's like being named John Burger Flipper and saying like, no, I don't want to work at McDonald's. Like, I want to go to Walmart. Like, I want to be a cashier. And that reveals Moses' true character. And I feel like all of us can relate to that, because if God told you have to free an entire country of people by yourself, I mean, like, you're not technically by yourself, but like, this is going to be pretty difficult. Like, I'm not sure I'm the guy for the job. Moses' conflict that he's feeling, his spiritual or inner conflict that he's feeling the entire film, is brought out even more when the plagues happen. It underlines his conflict of he has to do this to free these people, but also he really, really doesn't want to mess up Egypt. And it's mainly because Moses lived there. Like, he like, people forget, like, you know, he was also from Egypt at a time. But it's really cool to see how Moses transforms himself from a cocky, braggadocious, lame teenager to a pretty cool dude who does the coolest thing ever by freeing all of his people. Ramses is a super interesting character in The Prince of Egypt. A million thirst traps of him whenever I go online. Like, that I know that sounds crazy, but like, genuinely look up Prince of Egypt edit and you'll see something of Ramses. Ramses is a really interesting character because he is a prime example of somebody who can't let go of a bad thing. When both Ramses and Moses are kids, Ramses is told that he can't be the weak link in the family. He's gonna be next up. He's gonna be the morning and evening star. That's what he's told. And he can't be the weak link in the family. He has to keep those slaves. He has to keep the traditions of Egypt, and he has to be the exact same man his father was. Ramses takes it upon himself to make sure that whatever happens, he remains that guy. And unfortunately, Ramses does not remain that guy. Ramses actually turns into the exact opposite of that guy, because Moses tells him that if he doesn't let those people go, there's gonna be something that happens that really messes up Egypt. But Ramses, in his own hubris, in his own ego, and I mean, literally, this is, I'm sorry, let's look at the lyrics for a second. Sorry, I know this isn't the music section, but literally Moses is telling Ramses, like, your ego and your pride, you're screwing over everybody else. There are men, women, and children in Egypt getting affected by these plagues, and all Ramses has to do is say, you know what, maybe slavery is bad, and let the slaves go. But no, he won't, because he won't be the weak link. By the time the bad thing happens, Ramses does let the people go. Woohoo! Let's go, dude. Let's go. No more slavery. Let's go. Now, a fun fact about Ramses is that his name is sometimes translated to Ozymandias. Now, why is that Breaking Bad reference very important? Well, it's because of the poem of Ozymandias. So let's hear this poem. Like, let's hear what the poem sounds like real quick, just so we can understand what I'm talking about.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that his sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear: my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains, round the decay of that colossal wreck. Boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away.
Throughout the entire movie, Ramses is continuing to talk about, I'm the morning and evening star, I am Egypt, I'm that guy, Egypt is gonna be super awesome by the time I'm done with it. And Ozymandias is Ramses. In history, Ozymandias is not remembered. The best thing Ozymandias is known for is being one of the best Breaking Bad episodes. Because this guy couldn't let go of his own pride and ego, it was destroyed, both biblically and historically. The characters in the story do a great job at acting as metaphors for things that can block ourselves in our own life. So I would rate the characters of the Prince of Egypt a 22 out of 25. The vibes in The Prince of Egypt are genuinely top 10. And it's not number 10. It's not number 3, and it's not number 2. Guess what? It's number 1. It is the top 1 vibe. This movie has such amazing backgrounds and set pieces. If you actually watch the making of how they did this, they combined like digital and hand-drawn backgrounds, mainly watercolor backgrounds, and they actually went to the real locations. Like, they went to Egypt to do some of these backgrounds, and you can tell based on how these things, like, look at it. The backgrounds in this movie are genuinely beautiful. It is a beautiful thing, and the amount of still frames I could take from this and showing the significance of each one of these still frames is just crazy. Like, you can see each frame has its own meaning. And I feel like that's something that really allows for a lot of back and forth between the biblical story and the movie. Almost every scene in the movie is intentional. It's extremely intentional what they're doing here. The positioning of the characters, the dialogue that they have, the music that plays in the background when they're talking to each other. A lot of it is the score changed to show the evolution of Moses and Ramses and the relationship. If you look at some of these pictures, bro, you will think that this is a picture by itself. Like, it is really, really cool. I'm gonna link down below the videos on how they made this movie because I think everybody should watch it. It's an amazing thing what they did here, and the animation itself, let me say right now, El Dorado, Sinbad, and this, top 5 animated movie styles. This DreamWorks style, the DreamWorks style of animation is gas. I don't know why it left. I'm just getting AI bean face slop, and I really want to see more of this thing, you know? Like, why can't I have more of this? It was made in 1998. I wasn't even born yet, and this is the best that we can have? Really? Okay, fine. It's whatever. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore, dude. Like, you know, fine. That's the best that we can get. Fine. I love this movie, man. I love this movie. Anyways, I rate the vibes actually perfect. The vibes of this movie are perfect, and this is why this is the shortest section of the video, because there's not much else to say, because, I mean, it's a vibe, bro. It's a vibe. 25 out of 25. It is a perfect vibe. If I were to talk about what a message for a movie means for me, it's like 1 or 2 words that explain what this movie gives off. And in my opinion, it is bravery and faith. Moses needed to be brave, and he needed to have faith to know that things were going to work out in the end. Despite all the ups and downs that he went through, things were still going to work out in his favor and his people's favor, because somebody had already planned it. A lot of the times in our own lives, like let's say that you go to a Chick-fil-A and you ask for a spicy chicken sandwich, and instead of getting a spicy chicken sandwich, you get a normal chicken sandwich. And instead of going up to the cashier and saying, hey, I got the wrong thing, you just eat that chicken sandwich. Should I have been brave and told the cashier that, hey, you just, you got my order wrong? Yes, I should have. But I was hungry, I'm big, fat, and greedy, and I wanted that sandwich. But it's those little instances that the movie and the message can apply to in your own life. You see what I'm doing here? Because like bravery with and like my own. The point is that the message of this movie is really good, and it can apply to a lot of aspects in your life. And ask yourself, what are other times in my life where maybe I should have had faith that this is going to work out, or maybe I should have been brave and, done the thing that I said I was going to do, or done the thing that was obviously made for me, How does that apply to your life? And how does this movie make you feel about it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments or something. Like, what do you think? Because of all those reasons, and because of how much I reflected on my own life while watching this movie, and reflected on the fact that I did eat that burger, I decided to rate the message of the movie a 23 out of 25. So, taking into account everything that I have talked about today and all the scores that I've given each section of the movie that I feel like is a good indicator of what makes something peak cinema, The Prince of Egypt gets a 90%. A 90%. This movie gets an A. This is a great movie, and I feel like everybody should watch it. And that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. Like, thank you so much. Like, actually, like, if you sticked around until the end, you're on the day ones list. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm probably gonna try and make more videos on movies, but who knows, like maybe I'll make it about something else too. I just really wanted to talk about The Prince of Egypt today, and I'm glad that I was able to do it. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time, and have a great day. See you.
2020, I don't need no glasses.
Bye.